Politics is an interesting game, if you will. I talked about the fact that weeks ago, the governor, his deputy, and several other persons, literally the entire structure of the PDP, had moved in Delta State to the APC. But there are some persons in the APC who are, what I call it, raising, I'm not sure what to call it, objection or concern in that sense of what will be the fate of the party in the state, because everything looks like uhuru at the surface level. Let's bring in the Commissioner for Works and Public Information, Charles Aniago, joins us virtually. Mr. Charles, thank you so much for coming on the program. Also joining us is Mr. Collins Salamo, is an APC leader in Delta State as well. Gentlemen, thank you so much for your patience. Let's make the most of the time we have. Brevity, they say, is the soul of wit. Mr. Salamo, I'd listened to you where there's a categorical statement you made when raising your concern about the influx of the PDP members into your party. And that is to the effect that you said that Oborowere, the governor, who has the war chest, who has all the structure coming into your party, is not an asset. How is that possible?
Of course, it's not an asset. You see, this democracy is ambiguous in its definition. Government of the people, by the people, and for the people is a conventional definition of democracy that does not apply in the Delta State context or in the Nigerian context. Not until we derive a phenomenon that reconciles government's efficiency and its legitimacy, the authority that we have given to those who govern us through our ballot box, and our freedom. Those are the four fundamentals of democracy. And the application should come in that direction with a common denominator that it should be corruption-free. You talk about structure. How do you define a Oborowere structure to APC? They are not definitive. I tell you one story. Like Patutomi, I sympathize with his predicament. Where was the National Publicity Secretary of APC when Patutomi escaped assassination during the Abacha junta? He was fighting for democracy. Because he associated with Abiola, they wanted to kill him, and he escaped assassination. The irony is that somebody like the National Publicity Secretary is accusing him of a shadow government. It's repulsive. Not only despotic, it's excruciating. Now I tell you about Oborowere. At the time I said all its infrastructural developments can be equated to beautiful irrelevancies. And I advanced my reasons. The commissioner you have just called, I called him. And I told him that his claims were wrong, that the riverine area has been developed. The answer he gave was that they are ongoing projects. Then I said, the honor or the award being given to our governor, that was not the promise during his campaign, that he was going to be honored by Vanguard. And he told me categorically after my Vanguard interview that he was going to meet Vanguard to honor him, since I have criticized him through Vanguard newspaper. I thought he was joking. The next week, he was honored as the best infrastructural governor of the year. What is the infrastructural development in Delta State, if I may ask? He built 3 fly-overhead bridges, or whatever you call it, in a space of 400 meters, and is spending over 100 billion on that issue. The over 100 billion on building the infrastructure in a local government in a space of 400 meters. I blame the Attorney General of Delta State for him to have embarked on that project. What is that project all about? It's to ease traffic. And the project, the infrastructural development that is on that is on an illegal foundation. What I mean by illegal foundation is that the property on which those infrastructures are built belongs to the federal government. It was acquired by Obasanjo in 1978/79.
All right, Mr. Salama,
before the land use degree.
Let me come in for a moment. You know, I said the brevity is the soul of wit because of time. So if you can land on your thought as quickly as possible so we can have as many questions come through. Let me take it to Mr. Charles. Mr. Charles, the question I did ask him is about the fact that he has alluded to the fact that your governor, Sheriff Oborowere, is not an asset coming into the APC. He was telling the president that, and that's why I had to ask him that question. You've listened to some of his conclusions. What are your thoughts?
Thank you very much, my brother. I am happy that he didn't answer your question. And that meant that I am not even able to decipher his tendencies or the tendencies that he represents even in this interview. But to speak to the issues he has raised, because I've also had cause to listen to him in other platforms, I want to say that starting from the question you asked, that we have come into the APC with a view to broadening the spectrum of development in our state. We have also been able to open up our arms with respect to our brothers and sisters that we met in the APC. And so, of course, you do not expect that in one fell swoop everybody will be on the same page. In the course of time, it's just like when you have pap, akamu, or something what you call a custard, if you want to bring it the English way. And by the time you bring it out from fire, you mix it with water, and then you add milk. You will need to stir it before all of them will have the same flavor and, of course, the same color. So you expect that for us to come into the APC in the course of time, it will take time to have that kind of mixture where everybody will be on the same page. So I wish he was speaking to the issues of APC, because a while ago I listened to him even criticizing the spokesperson of the APC. So that's why I said I'm not very clear on the issue of the tendencies he represents in this interview. But also to respond quickly to the issues he raised about the bridges and what he says he's not sure we're doing. He is from Burutu local government. Even in the course of time, he moved to Bomadi. I wouldn't know the reason why he did that. In Burutu local government, where I know his original place, we have built a number of roads, starting from the Ogulaha Okontu, and the number of roads that he talked about. He's very much aware of them. Ogbembiri is also in the riverine communities. We are also building the Bomadi Ohoro Road, which is about 47 kilometers. He's very much aware of those stretch. So if he talks about development, I'm happy to discuss that. He said the bridges we are building is 400 meters. Even one of the bridges is in excess of even the 400 meters he talked about. And we are building 4. Ask him if NRA Junction is just 400 meters away from a DSC roundabout. Ask him if PTI Junction is just 400 meters away from the NRA Junction. That he's talking roundabout that he's talking about. Also ask him if the PTI junction is also just 400 meters away from a DSC roundabout. So you know that he's not saying the truth. And in any case, my brother, we're not only just building bridges, we're also expanding the whole corridor. Everybody that comes into Delta have commended Governor Oborowere on the strength of his infrastructural effort in the state. So I want to know where my brother Collins Eselemo stand, whether he's talking about movement into the APC or he's talking about infrastructure, so that we know what we're discussing. Perhaps you need to bring him back to the question you asked earlier.
All right, Mr. Charles,
let us know the tendencies he represents in this interview.
Okay, Mr. Eselemo, so those are direct questions. So I will just repeat what you said. The tendencies you represent, and in addition to that, Mr. Eselemo, he's alluding to the fact that these are early days, so cohesion takes a bit of time because they met people there. What exactly is your grouse with this movement?
Let me take him on his strides. The roads that he mentioned in the riverine is very unfortunate, funny. They went to commission that road during the Okowa era. You know what they did? They took vehicles off the shores of Warri to go and commission a road in the riverine and brought the vehicles back. It's so funny. You spend over 20 million to take vehicles from Warri shores to where he had just mentioned, drive along the road, came back with these same vehicles to Warri. Of what economic effect is that? I am not talking about the distance between NRA Junction and PTI. I'm talking about the distance between a full roundabout to PTI, DSC roundabout.
All right, Mr. Eselemo, if I can come in, my apologies. So
He was telling you to ask me this question, so I'm just telling you.
Yeah, so, but just go back to, you've taken a lot of time on it, you've got time. So what is your grouse with their movement? I think you have a problem. What exactly is the issue?
My grouse is that if they are coming to APC, it should be conditional. They should leave their baggages in the warehouse of PDP. Among the baggages are over 500 billion indebtedness at the expense of Deltans. Are we going to pay this money? Is the APC that will pay the 450 billion that was inherited or borrowed? Those monies were sealed, signed, approved by the present governor when he was a rubber stamp speaker of the Delta State House of Assembly. You can't sever the present governor of Delta State from Okoa, because all these monies that were borrowed was sent to the House for discussion and he approved them. So he cannot claim innocence of that. So how do we do this? We didn't know what the 450 billion that was borrowed was used for. So let us know these things conditionally.
All right, Mr. Salama, let me take it to Mr. Charles. Let me take it to Mr. Charles.
So we have inherited liabilities, and that is what we don't want in APC.
Mr. Charles, so it's interesting. Let me come to you, Mr. Charles. Mr. Salama, just a moment. Let me take it to Mr. Charles. Mr. Charles, so ordinarily everybody who inherits a governor at that level as a political party is excited. But this looks like Mr. Salama and perhaps people he represents are not quite excited. So maybe when he says you must come with, keep your baggage of the PDP on one hand, and then on the other hand, this liability you're bringing, they're not ready for it. What exactly do you think it means? What are the conditions he's talking about here?
I wouldn't know what has happened to my brother Collins. He used to be much more coordinated in his views than what I'm hearing and seeing this evening. Because to be able to even speak to the issues you raise is a difficult thing for him as to what is his challenge with us coming into the PDP. And then now let me very quickly come to the picture he has painted, which is at variance with the reality. Nobody is owing 400 billion naira in data. Oborowori, since he came into government as the governor of Delta State, has not borrowed a single dime. He has even paid well over 280 billion, both contractual and other forms of loans that were taken on account of bridging finance that we had even in the last administration. So I needed to know where he stands, because I don't know, he's running from one pillar to another one, so I cannot even understand the kind of argument he's making this evening. I had thought that he wanted to talk about the issue of movement into the APC, but the way he started attacking even the spokesperson of the APC makes me to become a little confused as to the tendencies he represents. Maybe he thought he was coming here to have a feed day, spew some lies or paint pictures that are at variance with reality, and then get away with blue murder. The fact is this: Oborowori as a governor has brought in a whole lot of development to our state. Governor Okowa did not commission these projects he's talking about. There are the ones of Governor Okowa commissioned, like the Ogulaha road in Burutu local government, which is over 19.7 kilometers in the creeks. He also fails to realize that the people in the creeks have houses there. They have vehicles that they use in those places. He is saying of what economic importance. My brother, one of the reasons why we are not having challenges in terms of pipeline vandalism in Delta is because we took development to the creeks, where the bulk of the oil is being drilled. Initially, they would tell them development is on the pipeline. But rather than allowing the development to remain in the pipeline, our government, starting from the previous one, and being deepened by the Oborowori administration, took development to those places. He's saying of what economic importance. The reason why Delta is a very rich state in oil production is because of our brothers and sisters who live in the creeks. And he's saying, why do you have to go and develop those areas? You can imagine how he's reasoning. I am shocked that my brother who is from the creeks is asking why are we building roads.
Mr. Salama, Mr. Charles, just hold on. Let me take you, Mr. Salama. So 1 minute each. So, Mr. Salama, so they have moved their structures. I like to stay with the politics. I don't know why, but I like to stay with the politics. They have moved their structures, but
so that you become a little
just hold on, Mr. Charles. They have moved their structures. Is it that there's a new chairman of the APC who came from the PDP, or the ward level they've changed the leadership? What exactly is this change that is making you very uncomfortable?
please let us go away from his orchestrated mentorship. We are not ready for that. We are for reality. The piece you see that has announced oil production is from the National. Tinubu has created more jobs in Delta State than even Oborowori himself through Tantita and amnesty program and all that. He has created more jobs through Tantita, Tompolo, and other security agencies. It is not Oborowori that is responsible for the increase in oil production.
All right, Mr. Selemo, my apologies. My apologies. My apologies, Mr. Selemo.
Let him not go into that. Let him not go into that at all.
So
it's not the responsibility of Oborowori.
In 30 seconds, Mr. Selemo, just hold on, so that we can make progress. We're totally out of time. In 30 seconds, you haven't given me a reason for your grouse. I have asked, the party structure, has it been immobilized, the APC that they met? What exactly is the grouse? In 30 seconds, because we don't have time, so you can respond and we'll wrap up.
The grouse is that they should keep their baggages in the PDP warehouse. We don't want to inherit all these type of things. We are moving forward. He's distracting this discussion. What has that got to do with oil production? Oborowori is not responsible.
Okay, Mr. Selemo.
The president of this country is responsible. And he has created more jobs than Oborowori himself.
Let me go back to Mr. Charles. Mr. Charles, just 10 seconds or 30 seconds, your landing thoughts.
For more than 5 years, we have been in number one in oil production. That precedes the existence of Tantita. And so that answers the issue of what he's talking about as to what effort we have made in our dear state and the effort that Oborowori is deepening. Beyond that, we want to say that we are really making progress. We are moving forward. You heard the Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development. We heard him that everybody has been able to comment. The leaders of the APC that we met have all agreed. So I need to understand the tendencies of Collins, my brother. Obviously, you can see that he appears not coordinated on what he wanted to talk about this evening. And I feel bad about that. I hope that after this interview, he can go back and look at himself, how he's moving from one pillar to the other, without even being able to answer the issues.
All right, gentlemen.
So maybe next time, if he becomes more coordinated, it becomes easier.
I don't want you to take anything personal. He has made his point. However he made the point, he has made his point. I just wanted some clarity. But Mr. Collins Selemo, APC Chieftain, Charles Anyongo, Commissioner for Works and Public Information. Gentlemen, I don't want anything personal. Let's just stay with the issues. Thank you for coming on the program. Thank you.
Not doing anything personal.
Thank you.